Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. It is the morning of the 2023 Royal Rumble. Ran out today. I picked up some donuts, sat down on the couch. I do have a little bit of work I got to do outside the house, but I was like, what way to fire up the day, get ready for the Royal Rumble, other than popping on a Royal Rumble from back in the day. I wanted to get a classic Rumble because I just kind of like feel like I have more feels about watching the older wrestling rather than something newer that I've seen before. So I ended up going with the 1995 Royal Rumble. This one took place when I was a freshman in high school. From watching this Rumble, I really don't have very many memories. I know that when I was a freshman in high school, I was still watching wrestling. I was laying down on my bedroom floor. I had a small, probably 12, 14-inch TV, and I thought I was living in a whole new world because we had cable at this house. And I remember watching Raw. I remember watching the early days of Nitro before the NWO started. But this time period in wrestling is so weird. There's so many wrestlers on the show that I just don't remember. It's almost like they were trying, even at this time, to get a nostalgia feel. There's so many wrestlers that pop up on this on this Royal Rumble that have no place in 1995, because you got to think, like, we're right around the corner from Lex Luger jumping ship from WWF to WCW on the first episode of Nitro. We're still, I guess, a year away from the NWO. But this time period of the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania 11 coming around the corner, is probably the time period I feel the most disconnected from. I want to call it my childhood, but I'm telling you, I was a freshman in high school. Knowing what's going on, in a year, wrestling is going to be as hot as it's ever been. The NWO is going to start. No doubt, I'm not missing Raw. I'm not missing Nitro for at least the next couple of years until like 2001 to 2002, when I take a step back from wrestling. So I don't know why I sort of blocked this time period out. I didn't watch the entire show, but I did skip through it. Jeff Jarrett defeated Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental Championship. We had The Undertaker in a match against IRS. I have no memory of this match, but it has to be something about IRS saying that Undertaker needs to pay his taxes. Diesel versus Bret Hart. This is probably one of the best Diesel matches there is out there. This is set up because Bret the Hitman Hart lost the championship at Survivor Series to Bob Backlund. The next day, Bob Backlund drops it to Diesel at the Madison Square Garden house show. This is Bret Hart getting a shot to recapture his belt. It's probably one of the realest matches. I don't want to say it's like UFC style, but there's no cartoon wrestling going on in this match. It's just two guys going out there, one trying to get the better of the other, to prove they're the best in WWF at this time. 1, 2, 3 Kid and Bob Holly defeat Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka. The fireworks of this match happens at the end when Bam Bam Bigelow is walking around the ring. All the fans are booing him, kind of laughing at him. He's yelling, "Don't laugh at me." He gets face to face with Lawrence Taylor, where they get in a pushing, shoving kind of match. He ends up shoving Lawrence Taylor about 3 rows back, which sets up the main event match for WrestleMania. They set this up really, really nice to let you know that they weren't doing an angle at the time. Bret the Hitman Hart, Vince McMahon is actually throwing to an interview in the back with the 1, 2, 3 Kid and Bob Holly, and decides to cut it off, basically saying, let's stay with what's going on here in the corner because it's starting to get interesting between Bam Bam and Lawrence Taylor. And then as soon as they run a package after it happens, they come back and Vince, all serious like, is sitting at the desk, apologizes for what just happened, apologizes to Lawrence Taylor, and it honestly, in sincerity, looks real. it looks like something just went down you weren't supposed to see, and Vince is trying to make up for it because this is family friendly entertainment, and you're not supposed to be, getting shoved by the wrestlers in the front row, no matter if you're a ex NFL star that just retired or if you're just, taking your kids to the local house show. The Royal Rumble opened up with Shawn Michaels drawing number one, the British Bulldog coming number two. They squared off in the ring, going back and forth. They're highlighting the fact that they're both former Intercontinental Champions. They're met out there. The next few guys, we got Eli Blue, Duke the Dumpster Drosy. It's hard to remember that he was really a guy. I don't know if he has a WWE Mattel Elite, but if they can make one for the Goon, Duke the Dumpster Drosy's got to be coming soon. Jimmy Del Rey. Then we were met by Sione. He's the guy that I'm telling you, it doesn't really make much sense. He is, he's the Barbarian. They're calling him by his real name. He's wrestling as the New Head Shrinkers. He has Captain Lou Albano walk him down to the ring. This is just one of those things that's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't remember this one bit. Heavenly Bodies, Tom Pritchard comes out. Doink the Clown. We've got Quang. Quang was Savio Vega. I was going to say that I thought Quang was Al Snow. I can't remember the alter ego that Al Snow had, but I remember him wearing it to ECW and ripping the gimmick off, saying that he couldn't draw money with that again. Rick the Model Martel. There's no way Rick the Model Martel was doing anything in 1995. I knew that he was gone for a long time, and then he just sort of popped up on Nitro. He was having really good matches with Booker T for the television championship, and then I think he got hurt, and then he just disappeared from the wrestling business. But I had no clue he was in WWF in 1995. We've got Owen Hart, Timothy Well, Bushwhacker Luke. Bushwhacker Luke gets dumped pretty fast. It's the other one that's actually in the match for a little bit. We got Jacob Blue. King Kong Bundy is in there. He's only in there for 3 minutes. But they're really, factoring in that he has a chance to win this thing. You got to think, even at this point, 1995, King Kong Bundy looks really young. That makes me think of like WrestleMania 2, an event that I haven't watched. I can't even remember the last time I watched WrestleMania 2. I tend to stick away from it because it's not really pay-per-view caliber other than Bundy versus Hogan in the cage. But, how young was Bundy when he, I know he ran in, what territory did he come from? Was he from Deep South? When he had the hair, and then he came, he did the main event, WrestleMania 2 with Hogan. He was at WrestleMania 3 in the I don't think you're allowed to say that, but that's what they call it, the midgets match. And I think he's gone, and then he just magically pops up, and he's in Ted DiBiase's stable. But even now, in 1995, he looks young. You got to think how young he was in 92. Mo comes out, Mabel's out, Bushwhacker Butch. The loudest pop of the night. I will fight anybody about this. Lex Luger. Lex Luger, this is after he tied for the Rumble the year before with Bret Hart. He went to WrestleMania. He got screwed by Mr. Perfect. Perfect's nowhere in this Rumble. I don't think Perfect ever did anything with WWF again after WrestleMania. I think that he found a way to do the ref in the match with the Lloyds of London. But I think that once he got back into the ring, he would either lose that money or he would have to pay a portion of it back. So we just decided to sit out, and we wouldn't see him again until he joined the Four Horsemen, which then led to him joining the NWO. I want to say 1997 is when he pops back up again, and he actually starts wrestling. But Luger comes in there, and you're thinking that he has a really good shot of winning this and going to WrestleMania. Followed by Mantar, Aldo Montoya, Henry O'Godwin, Billy Gunn. Okay, Billy Gunn as the member of the Smoking Guns. I know that a lot of people say that in between the time of, Ultimate Warrior debuting in WWF, winning the championship, him disappearing in WWF, and then coming back. A lot of people know that that's like kind of the steroids thing that kept him away, or when he got fired in 1991 because he held up Vince McMahon for money because he wanted to get paid the same amount as Hulk Hogan. People say that Ultimate Warrior died and he was replaced by another Ultimate Warrior. The Billy Gunn you see in the Smoking Guns and the Billy Gunn you see in AEW today, there's no way those are the same dudes. It makes no sense to me. He's followed by his brother Bart Gunn. Bob Backlund comes out to a huge boos. He's only in the Rumble for 16 seconds. I think they're phasing him out as fast as they can. Followed by Steve Dunn. Dick Murdoch comes out at number 27, the legend of the Rumble. He ends up being in the final 6, and when he gets eliminated, there's a chance he doesn't get eliminated there. And I don't think he had a chance of winning it, but he had a good showing in there, honestly. Adam Baum comes out at number 28, followed by Fatu at 29, and then Crush at number 30. Crush comes down to the final 3. He actually has Shawn Michaels. He's about to press slam him out of the ring, and it looks like he's just about to muscle the two oldest guys in the Rumble out, because the story of the Rumble is that Shawn Michaels came out number 1, and then the British Bulldog came out number 2, and they still had a way to last all the way until the end. It was I'm pretty sure it was the British Bulldog who ends up being the one who knocks Crush out, and then we end up seeing Michaels and Bulldog wrestle around a lot. We see Bulldog throw Michaels over the top without seeing him once he goes over the top rope. We don't see him hanging on the ropes, and then we see the British Bulldog climb up to the top rope to try and celebrate that he's going to WrestleMania. They're playing his music. It's all pumped, and Michaels just comes out of nowhere, double arm axe handle on Bulldog, and he falls over the top. And he ends up being the name of the winner. Hebner is all over it. He's in the ring, pointing at Michaels as the one is the winner, no matter what they're doing, playing the music. One of the big prizes of this match was Pamela Anderson.
I didn't get that.
No,
Could you try again?
Quiet down. I don't know. But Pamela Anderson is up there, and she's dancing around in the ring with him. She's going to WrestleMania. It end up showing up at WrestleMania, and Diesel ends up stealing Pamela Anderson, and I think he has to find Jenny McCarthy, who I don't know where he found her, but they were all there for the main event. So this was a good Rumble. It wasn't great. I think the participants were coming out every minute. I want to say that the match itself is only 38 minutes and 41 seconds long, so it goes by pretty fast. It doesn't have the biggest names. It has a lot of guys you shake your head at and I don't remember this at all. A lot of tag team wrestlers that really have no shot at winning this, but 1995, Shawn Michaels' first win. Gonna have to come back with the next one, watching 1996, and see what Shawn does in that one. Peace out, guys.